Something we found ourselves keep saying along the process was, oh, we're so glad we have Dave.
We did say that.
I know sometimes I'm not shy about voicing my opinions.
You were even digging into the crawl space. You just went down there and checked yourself. And I don't know anybody that would do that. I don't know anyone that would do that. It took a lot of stress out of the equation because we knew you weren't going to let us screw up. It was an absolute game changer.
All right, Shane and Eleanor, thank you so much for joining me on this. I think it's really important to get some customer and client feedback on how the whole process goes. So I know your time is very valuable, so I just want to start by just saying thank you for taking the opportunity here to do this. And I think it'd be fun to kind of start by sharing a little bit about like what brought you to this point to start this journey to find a new home, and like what was exactly you guys were looking for, and what do you think now that you're actually in the home? What do you think about it?
Yeah. Well, we're getting married, so we were trying to find our home together. So pretty exciting, bringing our families together. So we really wanted somewhere that was big enough for everybody to feel comfortable, in a community that made sense for us, and that
schools
that we fit with,
And we just wanted to be in this area too, for sure.
Specifically.
Camas specifically, but also we really like the Camas Meadows area a lot. And you showed us a number of places in different neighborhoods, but we definitely liked the homes that was in this area quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. And so what was it about this particular neighborhood that maybe had it stand out versus other neighborhoods that we saw?
I think definitely walkability was a big one.
Definitely.
Having the course and facility right next door is awesome. Mm-hmm. Restaurant next door is awesome.
Good schools. It was close to our work, so that's convenient.
Okay.
It's removed from a busy city, but we're right in reach with everything.
Super convenient. Yeah.
You mentioned close to work. Are you comfortable sharing what you do for work as well?
Yeah, we're both wealth managers.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's important. So budgeting's important then, because you're looking for that, right?
We try to be halfway decent at that.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So what was it about this home in particular that when you saw it, you're like, this is different from what other homes that we saw that made you want to take another look? Because I think we actually saw it 2 or 3 different times before making an offer.
I really liked all of the elements that went into it. So a lot of the stonework and the flooring. There's a lot of those fixtures that make it feel really warm and homey, even though it's still modern. Right. And so I liked those elements, but I also really liked the rooms. Everything was sizable for our family to come together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked the idea of modern home.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants something that was warm, that grandbabies could feel comfortable coming.
Yeah.
So this kind of checked both boxes. We saw it originally in the parade when you took us through it. Mm-hmm. And we didn't give it as much thought the first time, and then when we looked at it the second time, that was when it started clicking, I thought.
Yeah. Well, I remember looking at the ultra-modern home across the street as well, which definitely has a lot of wow factor, great characteristics and finishes to that one. But I think I don't remember which one of you said, but it's like too modern.
It was too modern.
Right, so this seems like this was like the nice blend between modern and just having that more kind of warmth kind of feel through the house, right?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And how are the kids liking it?
Oh, they're in heaven.
Yeah? There's no fighting over rooms or anything like that?
There was a little bit of a debate, but the oldest usually gets their way.
Yeah. That's right.
They'll be out sooner, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the kids can walk. They got the food truck place just up the street, and it's
Close to their schools, they're in walking distance.
It's awesome.
And just with what you guys do as a profession and just being submerged in the community, you know a lot of people. So I'm just curious to know, like, what was it about me that, made you want to work with me or choose to work with me, first of all?
I mean, you've definitely, in the years that we've known you, you've taken us through some of those beautiful homes in the county, some that are pretty wild homes. So we knew for the market where we were going to be shopping, you were most equipped, no question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So what was it about the process, and where do you feel that there was a lot of value provided to you through the search, and then once we found this one, and that process of like negotiating? Kind of walk us through the process of what that look like for you, and then where there's maybe provide some value to you in that process.
A big thing for me was just your knowledge. So as we were walking through homes, there's things that I don't really know to look for. And so it felt like having such an advocate, more so than like a best friend that's walking through to make sure that we were taken care of. Right. So there was things that I wouldn't notice because I don't look at homes every day that I want to make sure that are taken care of in our home. And so I felt very taken care of as we're walking through, having somebody next to us to say, we want to make sure that these things are taken care of. Right. You definitely, when I felt like I couldn't speak for myself, you were a voice that I didn't even have to ask for. You already knew what we wanted and were able to speak for us.
Yeah, and there were times where we felt satisfied with what we'd looked at. Yeah. And then we left and you said, I'm just going to stay. I want to check a few other things. And that was such a big deal to know that you were backing us up on everything. That you were, like advocacy. Absolutely. It took a lot of stress out of the equation because we knew you weren't going to let us screw up. If there was an issue, you would have found it, even if we didn't find it. And it's just super helpful when you're making this big of a decision.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah. I know sometimes I'm not shy about voicing my opinions on things. Obviously, and we have a great rapport, but when it comes to working with the other side, we want to make sure your voices are heard and your interests are met. And so,
makes a big difference.
Don't want to be shy when it comes to that.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're back. So, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Now, through the process then, like negotiations and whatnot, was there anything that kind of stood out to you through that process that maybe you weren't expecting, or you were very well satisfied once it came down to the closing table and like everything in between?
Yeah, if we thought you were an advocate prior, that part of the process, you really were shining. I think because we needed it. We needed an advocate, and you went to bat even on things that we didn't think of. You were like, I'm going to go to bat on this. Okay. Yeah. Super helpful.
Also, just a guide on what is the range, or what's appropriate, because we didn't really have a good knowledge on what direction we should go from a counter. How much further do we push, or where do we meet in the middle? Right. When do we concede? Right. So having a guide on what's appropriate, and like Shane said, you really even went above and beyond what we even thought would be our line. So I definitely felt taken care of during negotiations. Yeah.
All right, with the beauty of real estate, it's never perfect, right? So we did, we had a transaction closing time of actually almost like 45 days, if I'm not mistaken. And so there was maybe one or two little hiccups through there. What do you guys think? Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like hiccups that are probably common with a new build, maybe even more so with a parade home where there's a pretty strict timeline of when the build needs to be done. Yeah. And you helped us design our offer where there were some improvements we wanted to be made and things we wanted modified before we moved in as part of the offer. And you were the one that really pushed to have an established escrow holdback so that we had some leverage on the timeline, which we wouldn't have thought of doing. Right. And it ended up being a big deal. And I think one of the reasons we got into the house when we did and had it done the way we wanted was because of that. And we never would have thought of that. And honestly, we worked with other agents in the past. No one's ever recommended that before. And it was an absolute game changer.
Yeah,
no
thank
question.
you. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that, a lot of agents don't know about an escrow holdback, surprisingly. And it is not commonly used, but it is, common enough to obviously be aware. And in the situation for you guys where, there was an appropriate timeline to get some things done, and for whatever reason they didn't get done, but there's goals of certain closing times, for you guys, it really did make a difference to help get kind of three main factors done in a timely manner for you. So I'm glad, because one of those is that beautiful front door that I get to walk through today, and it looks phenomenal. And sometimes good things do take a little bit longer, and I would say for that it was well worth it. I know you're happy about it, and I know the builder's happy about it as well.
Yeah, and they were big projects. I mean, they were big items. So that made a big difference.
Great. Was there any other hiccups or challenges that we came across that you can think of that we were able to smooth out?
Yeah, I mean, there were some things that came across. Something that was a big deal to me was having you, even after we were through the closing, is that you were still in the conversation with us. You still wanted to make sure that we were taken care of. And you were facilitating conversations and making sure to follow up with us. Even when we didn't reach out, you're always checking in and helping facilitate sometimes tough conversations or timelines. Yeah. And so even after we were done, you were still showing up and being there for us, which really made a big difference.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And that's the thing, this process, we had the luxury of meeting each other before this journey, but you really get to know each other better through this journey too. And when emotions are high and low because of just the nature of a real estate transaction.
You were even digging into the crawl space. I mean, there was a day where, I want to say post inspection there was like a drainage thing that was flagged, and we were told it was done, and Elle and I were like, cool, it's done. Yeah. And you were the one that said, I want to make sure it's done. So you asked for pictures, and there weren't any available. So you just went down there and checked yourself. And I don't know anybody that would do that. I don't know anyone that would do that. And it's not like we brought it up or even thought of it. You thought of it, and then you went and did it. Just totally above and beyond.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, it means a lot you guys chose to work with me. And, I do take my job very seriously. And, the relationship never stops at the closing table. It always continues, and especially with new construction, there's things that can come up. And so I just wanted to make sure you guys were well taken care of. And sometimes that means you don't know until you put your own eyes on it. And in the case of the crawl space, flashlight in hand and all, I had to go down there and do it. And fortunately, it was all looking good, so we didn't have to go further on that one. And so, but no, I appreciate you saying that, because it does mean a lot. And I appreciate you, recognizing, an extra effort or not, it's the effort, and it's what I always try to give all my clients, and obviously you guys are extra special to me too, and so I just appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah. Something we found ourselves keep saying along the process was, "Oh, we're so glad we have Dave."
We did say that constantly.
Yeah.
We really did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it was, when things go wrong, which they inevitably do, there's always curveballs that come up, and they can be extremely stressful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we did. Our fallback was, Dave's got us, so it's going to be fine. Mm-hmm. It helped a lot.
Yeah, well, thank you. For someone who's watching out there, and maybe they're searching, they want to go look in the Camas area in Southwest Washington, and maybe they haven't selected an agent to work with right now, like, what would be some advice for them looking, or if they're looking to sell, like, what kind of characteristics do you think that they should be looking for, whether it's me or another agent, they should really be looking for that you found a lot of value?
I mean, I just feel like the advocacy is the biggest thing. And in the past, I had a client moving up from California to north of Seattle, and you drove up there it's definitely above and beyond. And just knowing that your agent will think of things that you won't think of is a bigger deal, I think, than people realize. It's like same impact of choosing the right builder. Yeah. If you're going to get a home built, and you might bid it 3-4 times out, and you choose the cheapest one, you end up spending a lot more time and money than you thought. Right. And so that choosing the right person makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. For me, I would say definitely having somebody who knows things, like you say, that you don't know, going through the process as we were walking through, making sure that everything was in the right order. Mm-hmm. There was things that I didn't know. I was very grateful that you did know. Also, I always love how involved you are in the community. Mm-hmm. You know this area well. And so as we were going through the process to find this home, you really were able to find, even though some places weren't our home, everywhere we looked, we weren't like, oh, he's not really getting it. We always felt like, okay, this is great. It's just, we don't really like one thing or another.
Sure.
But you definitely understood what we wanted. You knew the community well enough to pick the areas that we wanted to be in. And so it never felt like a waste of time. We always felt understood. And you helped us tweak what we wanted along the way to ultimately end up here.
Great, thank you. I just say, I mean, through this experience, I mean, I work with a lot of different clients, and you know, my experience in working with you guys, it was just smooth and fluid, and it was like such a good fit too, because I love too, as an agent, watching couples work together, and you guys are such, I mean, no doubt you're getting married because you guys are such a unit. And play off each other very well and are very supportive and both bring something to the table. And it's just fun for me to be able to watch you guys work together as a team in your communication. And then obviously our group text is going too, so we're all participating in it together. And so I think that's a big reason why this process was so smooth, relatively speaking, because of just great communication, and there was just a good connection. And I can see when we go in one house, it's like energy levels maybe here. You come into this house and it's just like boing, 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 like bouncing off the walls and whatnot. Relatively speaking, a lot more excitement. And so it's fun for me to be able to see that and see you both gain that energy when you're walking into and throughout the house.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have thought of that. That's fun.
Oh, it's one of the funnest part of my job is to, not in a creepy way, but like observe clients. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So now that you're here and you're settled in, like, I just want to know, like, what are like your top 2 or 3 favorite things about the house that you just, like, you wake up each day and you're like, I love this place. Yeah.
We love the view and the outdoor area.
Yeah.
I love the kitchen a lot. Yeah.
I like that the spa area.
Yeah.
So I like
Spa's
that
awesome.
wellness that the home brings, that we can really hone in on our health. I love that
A lot of
about it.
daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting here and like we have lights on, but you have all these windows, and I love that I can sit here and I can see the fountain over at Camas Meadows right there, just
Yeah,
going,
it's
and
just
all the
awesome.
green, like it's just.
We spent a lot of time out on that deck with the music going and the fountains there, and you got the heaters. And,
Yeah. Any heckling of golfers?
Yeah, exactly.
Say something run inside.
For sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
Super fun.
Yeah. Well, Eleanor and Shane, thank you so much for taking the time again to sit down. This really meant a lot to me, and I hope it really helped the audience get a chance, to learn a little bit more about what the process looks like and working with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for all you've done for us. It made a huge
Absolutely.
difference.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a joy for sure. Thanks.